So good morning. Today we have someone who was awarded the EB1 Extraordinary Green Card, which is also known as the Einstein Visa because of his abilities. He has won several awards, such as the Silicon Valley Incubators, including the Plug and Play Award, and has received recognition from some of the most brilliant people in the Silicon Valley. Let's welcome Simon on 10 Minutes of Hiring Wisdom, who will show us what it can take to be successful in the 21st century. Let's welcome Simon. Hi, Simon. How are you doing today?
Hi, doing good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us. So, Simon, can you tell us about your journey? You got awarded one of the most brilliant visas and everything. Can you tell us a little about that? How did that happen to be?
Yeah, so I started my career as a controls engineer working in control systems in the manufacturing industry, then moved around in the manufacturing industry a bit. Joined Tesla after a year or so. Super awesome time there, learned a lot. Then I moved into the full self driving space at Lyft as well as now at Neuro. So along my journey, I had the opportunity to found a few startups. One in the waste management space, the other one in sort of like the resume making / career management space. So this has been my journey overall. As far as like the visa and the green card is concerned, this is basically from the standpoint of like necessity is the mother of invention, right? So there was this time when I was finding it very hard to get my even the be successful in the H1B lottery, and I had to figure another way out. And there were many other ways out, which were temporary or like just a band aid. And I decided to do something that was permanent to legitimately build my profile up from scratch and spend like a year and a half of sleepless nights doing that and that eventually qualified me for the EB1A visa. That's how I found a permanent solution to that problem that pretty much everyone faces.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So, do you think when you look back now, do you think those sleepless nights were worth it, especially where you are currently?
Oh yeah, definitely, and that's the reason I want to help more people as well in their paths, because I know there are a lot of people waiting. Either they are unsuccessful in the H1Bs, but there is this other path called O1 which they can use, and or there are other people who are waiting for the green cards for like 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, and all that, who can actually get their green cards in like a year or two if they really put in that hard work. So that's where I have my course out there to help them.
Thank you so much for just like being a source of inspiration for many people, because I think a lot of people end up usually giving up on the green card because the process takes so long. But because everything happened with you and everything, you decided to give back, which a lot of people don't do that. So thank you for just like giving back to the community as much as you can. It really does mean a lot to people who usually just feel hopeless at the end of the day. So, Simon, you've had like quite an interesting path. You worked with Tesla, then you decided to go with Lyft and work with Lyft. How has your experience been? What are some of the things that you learned that you would want to share with people that are looking for jobs that would be like, okay, this would be useful for them?
So sometimes people are caught in this battle. People who are, let's say, people who have a few offers, right? They are caught in this battle of, hey, there's like company A, B, and C who have like a relaxed work culture, and then C, D, E, and F who are known for a very rigorous work culture and things like that. And what do I join, right? And a lot of times people just join the companies that are sort of relaxed and easygoing. If there's one thing that I've learned from working in early stage startups or even a very rigorous and well known for its rigor kind of environment like Tesla, right? It is that being part of that rigorous and very pushy environment since like earlier on in my career has really helped me accelerate my growth, in that I could learn far more than what I could have learned in a relaxed environment, and that is really important in the beginning of your career to grow. So if you get that chance, always choose the environment that is very rigorous and who stand for a certain mission and a purpose, than someone who just like hang around, not rock the ship that much, and just move along.
That makes sense. And like because you've had experience working with well-known, recognized companies, you've had experience founding your own startups or even working with startups. Like people usually are faced with a dilemma when they're offered with job offers from companies that are well recognized as opposed to companies that are startups. What would you recommend? Like how should people navigate through while deciding if they should go for some company that is well recognized as opposed to a startup? What are the pros and cons according to you when choosing one between the other company?
I look at it more like any company that is, I mean, even Tesla at one point was not a well known company. To be honest, until very recently, it was not that well known. Like all over the US, right? So I would look at it as whenever you interview or consider a company, just make sure that that company resonates with what you want to achieve, and also that that company is serious about what they are doing in where they want to go, right? Because if you work for a company that is very serious about solving a big problem and like know what they are doing in that, okay, are serious about what they are doing, then that small company that you join will eventually become one of the Googles or the Teslas of the world. So um, it's really good to like do that evaluation before making that decision. You can also, like, there are some big companies and well-known companies that are doing great stuff in the world as well, and being part of them is also fine. But for the most part, from like what I have seen, they do not afford you the experience or the sort of rigor that will help you be part of a larger story.
That's true. I think in startups, you get to wear a lot of hats because there's a short, small team and everything. So you have to do almost everything. So I can definitely see that. And because you've had that experience as well, I can definitely see where you're coming from. So, Simon, can you tell us, as in, like, you've had like such an interesting path and everything. What is something, according to you, that makes a person successful when applying for jobs that would increase their chances of getting their dream job?
So I think if you're talking about like new grads, m- make sure that you have worked on some really good projects. There are a lot of new grads that come to me saying, "Hey, I don't have the experience. So like, what do I do?" and things like that. For us, until a certain point, yeah, it does like experience does matter. But then for the most part, if you have some like really good academic projects or any sort of projects that you have done that is like in line with what's now in the trends, the trend in the industry, then you definitely have a larger chance. Just be super positive about it. And it's very easy, like when you're in such an environment, to look at people applying for like hundreds of jobs around you and getting rejected, and you also get rejected at the same time. But if you think about it, the odds are actually in your favor. Like, how many jobs do you need to get to become successful? You just need one. So the odds are
Yeah.
you need to make one work out of like hundreds of applications that you submit, right? So it's not like the odds are technically in your favor if you look at it statistically.
That's an interesting way because I always used to think of it in a negative way where I used to be like, okay, I'm applying to so many jobs, but I'm just getting rejected. But then again, it was just one job that you need essentially to set forward to your career. So definitely can see that. So Simon, can you tell us about your company currently? Are you hiring in that specific company? And if you are, what kind of roles are you looking for?
So speaking about Neuro, the career page of Neuro is always updated and shows all the positions that the company is hiring for. And yeah, definitely, there's a lot of like talent that we are on the watch out for. So I highly recommend people to go check the careers page out and apply.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And if there's one piece of advice, lastly, that you would offer to any job seekers out there, what would it be according to you?
Make sure that in your interviews, when you explain it from a standpoint of experience, right? Like, even if it is like whatever project that you have done, explain it to the interviewer from a standpoint of strength. Like, think about, okay, what is it that this company is doing that is making the interviewer ask me about this particular thing, and then relate that to your project or your experience, whatever it is, and build a nice, be a good storyteller, build a nice story, and then pass the message across, which makes it very authentic and very yours. than a very cookie cutter response that most people give. And honestly, to stand out from your competition, you don't need to do like 200% better. You just need to do like 10% better, because most people just do a baseline.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So just show your personality, make sure you get your message across, and be yourself is something that I would take away. Well, Simon, thank you so much. It was definitely a pleasure learning from you. If people do reach out to me with interest in your company, I will definitely forward them to you. But I can definitely see why you got that visa. You are definitely a very ambitious person, and I wish you even more success than now. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
coming
much,
on the
Saiman.
show.